Hello everyone, my name is Professor Abdul Kadir Arsiwala, and today we will be studying the second sum on income from business and professions. The problem appears on your screen. Let us just read the problem in short. Following is the profit and loss account of Mr. Pramod Verma for the year ended 31st March 2011. Profit and loss account is given. On the credit side of profit and loss account, we can see that sales is 7,50,000 rupees, closing stock is 50,000 rupees, rent from house property is 25,000 rupees, interest on securities is 2,000 rupees. On the debit side, opening stock, purchases, salaries, donation, audit fees, freight, legal expenses, welfare expenses, puja expenses, gifts and presents to clients, interest on housing loan, repairs to office building, provision for income tax, sales tax, and net profit are given. When we look at the adjustments, we find that welfare expenses, in the welfare expenses, 15,000 relates to the purchase of water cooler. It is a capital expenditure, it will be disallowed here. Legal expenses include 3,000 against the case charge of black marketing. Repairs to the building include 28,000 on addition to building. Provisions to income tax is in excessive to 1,000 rupees. Ignore depreciation. Okay, so here we will just click on the adjustments. First of all, welfare expenses. So I'll just highlight the adjustments here. First, welfare expenses. Then legal expenses. Legal expenses. Repairs to building and provision for income tax. Repairs to building, provision to income tax. Okay, so let us start solving this sum. We have prepared a format which is required for solving these kinds of problems. We will start with the net profit appearing in the profit and loss account. Just look at the problem. Net profit is 1,46,500. I'll just take this amount, write it here, 1,46,500. After that, one by one, we will start from the credit side of the profit and loss account. First of all, rent from the house property. Now, out of the given expenses, in the credit side, we can see that out of the given items, only rent from the house property and interest from the securities are the incomes which do not relate to business. Okay, closing stock and sales are business activities. Hence, the rent from the house property and interest on securities shall be deducted from the net profit. So, in this sum, I will write rent from the house property, $25,000. Interest on securities, $2,000. In the debit side, again we will start from the top. Purchases relates to business expenditure, hence it will be allowed as a deduction. Salaries relate to business expenditure, hence allowed as a deduction. Donation is made in personal capacity, hence it will be disallowed. I will be adding the donation back. Donation rupees 2,000. Audit fees again relate to business activities, hence it will be allowed as a deduction. Same goes for freight. It's a business expenditure, so freight will also be allowed as a deduction. Then comes the legal expenses. See, legal expenses are business expenditure, and whatever the case, see, it has been given in the adjustment that legal expenses includes 3,000 for the case against the charge of black marketing. Now the case is going on in the court. It has not been proven that you are guilty for black marketing, and any type of case can be continued against you. It does not mean that the case has been already proven, you have already been proven as guilty. So entire legal expenses, even 3,000 which are for the case against the charge of black marketing, will be treated as business expenditure and allowed for deduction. Hence I will not be adding back any amount here. Next comes welfare expenses. Welfare expenses total is 25,000, but from that 25,000, 15,000 is the capital expenditure on the cost of water cooler which has been purchased. So capital expenditure will be added back. So 15,000 of welfare expenses which relate to the water cooler shall be added back. I'll write it, cost of water cooler brackets capital expenditure rupees 15,000. Again, puja expenses. Now if these expenses are incurred at the place of business, puja expenses, if these expenses are incurred in the place of business premises, then these expenses will be allowed as a deduction. If it is specifically given in the problem that puja expenses are incurred at some other place or at the personal premises of the assessee, then those expenses shall not be allowed as deduction. Here nothing is given relating to puja expenses. We will assume that these expenses have been incurred at the place of the business, and hence these expenses will be allowed as a deduction. No adjustments for puja expenses. Then gifts and presents from clients. Again, gifts and presents given to the clients are our official expenditures and they will be allowed as deduction. Interest on housing loan. Interest on housing loan is a personal expenditure. It does not actually it does not relate to business. It is a interest paid on loan taken for a house. Okay, so this will be added back, 3,500. Interest on housing loan. Now, repairs to office building will generally be allowed as deduction, but there is an adjustment here that in addition to repairs, we have also made some construction to the building. We have made certain additions of 28,000. So, 28,000 is not a revenue expenditure, it is a capital expenditure. It is an addition to the building. Hence, this particular 28,000 will be added back to the profit and loss account because it is a capital expenditure and not a revenue expenditure. So addition to buildings, 28,000. Again, provision for income tax. Any type of provisions are disallowed while computing income from business and professions. So entire provision for income tax will be disallowed, even though there is an adjustment that provision for income tax is excessive to the extent of 1,000 rupees. This adjustment has to be avoided. It has to be ignored. Actually, it has been given just to confuse the students. Entire provision for income tax will be disallowed. So I'll write here provision for income tax 2,500. Then comes sales tax. Sales tax will be allowed as an expenditure. We have come to the end of our profit and loss account. Let us just look at the adjustments, whether we have solved all the adjustment. We have done welfare expenses, legal expenses has been dealt with, repairs to the building is over, provisions for income tax has been dealt with, depreciation does not have to be considered for this problem. So pretty much we have finished with the sum. Now let us just take the totals. The totals of the addition side will come to 51,000. The totals in the deduction side will come to 27,000. In the net profit of 1,46,000, we will add this 51,000 and deduct this 27,000, and the final figure, that is the profit from the business, which we get is 1,70,500. Okay, so this was the second sum from our notes on income from business and profession. Thank you.